Hey everybody, welcome back. We're doing another Marvel Future Revolution video. In this, we're gonna hit some topics that were covered in the live stream. The live stream is about an hour and 10 minutes long. We're not gonna watch the whole live stream, but there are some marks in there that I've watched, noted. We'll hit a couple of those, and pretty excited. It sounds like there's a list of some things that are gonna get improved. Dueling? I'm excited about the potential for that for sure. That'd be awesome. Obviously just to test things out. One, to do like, that's way better for streaming content, which would be so much fun. So anyway, we're gonna be talking about all this stuff. Obviously Magik is huge. That's the thing that a lot of people talk about. We get not the specific release date, but at least we know it's coming. Spoiler, December this year. So I've got my thoughts on that. Maybe I'll throw them out there. Maybe I won't. We'll see. I just got to remember when we get there. So anyway, if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord link in the description below. If you're not, check that out. It's the easiest way to follow along with content, etc. Also, if you want to hammer down like buttons, click notification bells, and subscribe, we appreciate you. All right, so now let's go check this out.
Bring me WolverThor!
Okay, so before we get started, there's some major things that they go through here. He's going to obviously talk about and show a trailer for Alliance of Mega War. Pretty cool to see that. We'll check that out. We get a couple guests. One buddy in the content creator core, Nalefic. You'll get to see him a little bit. He's on here, I think, the entire time. Gets a lot of good thoughts. So if you want to hear some of his opinions, I definitely recommend watching the whole thing. They do go over the content creator core quite a bit. So if you're interested in that program, I would highly recommend checking that portion out and applying if you are interested. So far, it's been pretty cool. So looking forward to things in that program to come in the future as well. Obviously, we've got Magik, a bunch of Q&A that they go through, and we'll hit a couple of those. Mainly, not all of them, but the ones that sort of stuck out me that I got really excited about. Busy. Definitely that one. So, all right, let's get through here and see what we got, Danny. And this is the part where they're going to show the actual trailer for the Mega War, or the Alliance of Mega War. So I just want to show this because I think it is pretty cool. I'll give a little commentary as we're checking it out. Now they're showing Sakar in this.
Get ready to party.
Band together. Keep together.
The music in this game is pretty amazing, I have to say.
Together. May the best alliance win.
Now, also, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Everybody, what are all those symbols? What do those symbols mean? Comment below, come to the Discord, because I actually don't know all of them. I have some ideas for some of them, but I don't know. So I'd love to hear what you guys think. All right, anyway, back to it.
Alliance Omega War.
All right, so this is the part where they start showing the map. I'm going to skip around some of this so you don't have to necessarily watch the whole thing with me, but you can see it's obviously a Magardi. You can see some... They do... To me, as a walker on Black Widow, I was like, eh? Like, this just looks difficult. You know what I mean? So I really hope that there's ways for me to get up and, you know, double jump or whatever to get to certain spots if they're too high versus a flyer who can just jump and fly and be there, jump, fly, be there. Otherwise, they'll give major advantage to those. I do believe there was a Q&A where somebody was talking about that. Danny's response is basically that something along like the devs will probably look at that if there seems to be a problem. But let's check out some of this. Let's see here. So again, it's just kind of flying through it. The crystals are there like you'd expect in a regular Alliance War or a Mega War, where you're going to get the HP, so or in points for it. So again, it looks pretty cool. I'm really interested to see how this game mode actually plays out. This is when they actually had a view over the top, which I found very interesting. They got some squares and certain things that you can see on here. There's gonna be a lot of strategy dynamics on this. Get ready to plan for it. You're certainly gonna wanna think about exactly how you do it, but if you wanna start thinking about maps and positioning, there you go. There it is. See how you're gonna wanna, you know, attack it, group up, you know, structure your team, etc. to go through here. So they also had some Q&A on here. The one they had here was they talk about some free to play.
Jay Relax from Facebook say,
awesome game for rich people. Oh, come on. The goal is to allow everybody to experience the playable characters.
I think that's a pretty decent answer. I do think that certainly any game, the game is not free to make. And I want to say that. I want things for free-to-play players, and I also want people to help support the game. If without whales and krakens and all any minor spenders, the game won't exist. There's a balance there, so that's where, you know, you saw Nullific kind of be like, you know, and I'm kind of in that same boat. It's like, well, you gotta give people incentive to spend. Now, certainly there's some RNG aspects of the game that could be better, etc. That's a different conversation. So, but I was happy that, you know, Danny did address that as one of the questions. So appreciate that. We've got one more here again. Shout out to Busy.
BC say, when would you buff Doctor Strange? So for all the buffing,
we've been talking about this quite a bit lately. Doctor Strange broken, so I was super happy that Danny addressed this, or at least brought it up. I mean, this was easily a dodgeable question. Didn't do it, so kudos to Danny for even talking about it.
Of Doctor Strange, the working on Star-Lord, the team is taking a serious look into that, and just taking a lot of time, because they would want to see the effect, a knock-on effect on other classes and balance properly. And, you know, stay with us. We hear you. Those characters are being worked on. I promise you that.
So I loved hearing that. I was super stoked about it. I've been kind of poking about that a little bit as well. So we'll see when it is. I personally am not expecting it this year. There's a lot of stuff going on. I will be very happy if it's this year, but I'm not personally expecting it. So Danny, Netmarble, please do. Well, Danny, thank you for addressing it. Netmarble, please do work on Doctor Strange specifically. Obviously, the other characters, I get a balance is important. So thank you for even bringing it up. So this next part, and they talk about this for quite a while, is the content creator core. I am a part of this program as well. There's only a handful, well, 3 of us. It's Nullific who's on here, there's myself, and there's Unstable Gamer. So we've been a part of this program for a bit. Danny goes over exactly what the program entails, how to apply for it. There's a link. You know, there's certainly metrics that they're going to look into for who can get into the program. I have had people ask me about it. I would highly recommend you applying if you're interested in it. Ask about the metrics. I personally don't know all the metrics. I know that, you know, there's some smaller people in there. I know that there's some bigger people who are not in there. So I don't, you know, it's like there's certain things, and they go through this in a lot of detail about ways to approach the game, ways to represent yourself, all those sorts of things. Into this, definitely check out this link. I'm not gonna show a bunch in here, but they did have some pretty cool stuff. I'm happy to be a part of it. There's some good feedback and, you know, different assets and stuff that they actually give that put in thumbnails and all that sorts of thing. They do get into some Q&A after that. One of the things that from that section of the Q&A that I liked was somebody brought up the question of timing of Alliance War. Danny brought up the fact that, yeah, Alliance War is a specific time in your zone. So if it's, you know, 8:30 and 9 o'clock my time, it's also going to be 8:30 and 9 o'clock your time in your zone as well. So, and what I mean by that is if you're in the zone, like I'm America East, so it's 8:30 and 9 o'clock East. In the West, it's going to be 8:30 and 9 o'clock West. So on and so forth. So depending on the zone you're in, that works. Now, if you're playing in America East, but you live in Australia, then yeah, that might be an issue, certainly. So, you know, but that said, he did say they're going to review it and look at it. And obviously, as the developers will decide, you know, how that's properly going to affect gameplay and make decisions one way or another. Then we had CM Carol join. She talked for a few minutes. I did enjoy this quite a bit. She seems very kind, pleasant. She's on the Discord a lot. So if you ever interact with her, you can see some chat there, or they had some chat in here where they said CM Carol the Legend. So pretty neat to see. Like, obviously she had the Groot image there. I loved it was Baby Groot with the little headset on, but she showed up, talked a little bit. They confirmed she's not an AI for anybody who joked about that. So thanks for showing up, CM Carol. That was a kind of a cool, fun ad. They had some more Q&A. He also brought up the best mobile game voting. If you're interested in doing this, you can vote on thegameawards.com. Certainly vote for whatever game you want. If you're watching this video, I'm guessing you like Marvel Future Revolution. So I definitely recommend you voting for that. Honestly, if you like it, my recommendation to vote for it on top of that is it helps with more publicity. And if you like the game and you want it to get more publicity, that means more people might come and play. You decide what you want to vote for, but I know for me, it's like, well, I actually like it and I want more people to play. So it's like double impact for me. So I did want to bring that up if you're interested in casting your vote at thegameawards.com. All right, so this part I want you guys to hear a little bit. It's Danny specifically talking about the server merges. I liked his answer here. I'm just gonna let him speak for himself.
So we look at population on all servers and matchmaking and regions, and the reason why servers merge is because there are some very lonely server population out there that it's very hard. Are you lonely, Chris?
Oh man, Hydra Empire 7 is lonely.
Right.
So, I mean, Nullific Chris is, specifically, and he's brought this up in the chats before as well. They need more people, and I get that. And being on a mega flight, it's different because there's a bunch of like people who went there immediately, and a lot of them are pretty hardcore gamers. So there's still, engagement within alliances, alliances competing against each other, etc.
So because of the loneliness, and also efforts to recruit new alliance member, instead of numbering all the server, we decided to collapse all of the servers into one in each of those regions to provide, or two, or some still have three, to provide better, playability for PvP purposes, and also recruitment effort for Alliance, of course, with the new Alliance Omega War content.
So I found that pretty important and good. I was happy that he did that, but they talked about it, so you heard a little bit from him. They had some more Q&A around the 48-minute mark that had talked about. Somebody asked a question about essentially fast-tracking Magik. Danny's answer, well, you can hear it here.
Will we have to grind Magik to get her to 100 level, or will we have an option to automatically level up? I don't understand the question. Do you understand the question?
I think a fast track option, possibly.
I don't know. I can't tell you. Sorry.
So he's not sure, but it would be cool if they. I don't expect anything like that in the game for some time, but we'll see. I did like that it was kind of brought up, and I liked how they joked about it.
Stephen Ryan from Facebook said, Danny, can we please have the option to turn off red dots? Yes, that red dots.
Hate those red dots.
Oh, thank you.
And also an option to have 2 Omega card presets. Yeah.
Omega card presets. Man, I'm pitches. Danny, what are you gonna say?
The Omega presets and then the badges presets were requested as well. It's in the list of suggestions. We've seen that. Yes.
So I'm happy that they've seen it. It's in the list. Certainly some of these things, take some time. We'll see. I want the Omega card presets so bad. Okay, then the grand winner that everybody was sort of waiting for was Magik, right? So finally they showed some stuff for Magik. It was still art, but still cool to see. If you look really close here, and you might admit, they talked about it in the stream, but Magik's demon form is there. So you can kind of check that out, just kind of underneath her elbow there. I do dig that. A very, very cool looking form. We'll see. Danny goes through all sorts of stuff here. And specifically, it talks about some of the skills from 52 on. So if you want to listen to the whole thing, it's basically from like, what is it? Like 5039 forward. If you want to see that stuff, we'll listen to a little bit of here.
Talk about it's a movement. She does have teleporting skills.
Teleporting confirmed.
Yeah.
All right, so that's pretty cool. We know we're going to get teleporting. Exciting. We'll see what else they hear.
She has teleporting skills. She have close range combat with her giant sword.
Obviously.
Sword, as we call it. And she's gonna cast magic. She's gonna do summons, and she can turn into Darkchild, her demon form.
So you got a little bit there, not a ton. I'd love to hear a little bit more of the skills, but he talks about this multiple times in the video where they're gonna sort of trickle this stuff out as they release her. So I expect in a week or two we might get a little bit more, which is fine. That's fun. It kind of hypes us up a little bit, but this is the first step towards some of that hype. Nullific had this shirt on with Magik's Uncanny costume, so they brought that up. Looks pretty cool. Again, the sword looks a little different. It's monstrous. You will find that she's got a number of different sword looks, and that all depends, similar to Black Widow, what her guns look like or her gloves, right? So that's what matters for Magik's aesthetics, whatever her costume is. That piece you're going to want to have. It worked very similar there, so it changes what it looks like. You might like the new Stark City sword better than another one, and you wear that one and combine whatever any way that you want. Like I like the way the space helmet on Widow. I think it's fun. Speaking of new Stark City, there it is. I think this one's super sharp. I really like this. I like the sword. I don't know. It's all very digital, very cool looking. Big fan for sure of this one. All right, this is Hydra. So this one was definitely pretty sweet. You got the massive sword again, the Hydra emblem on the sword. So I really like this outfit, and I think probably the one I saw that was probably my favorite was this Savage Shadowlands one. This is straight up bonkers. Like, if I played her and I got that sword, I wouldn't use any. I mean, I'll have to see the other ones, but I love this one. I just thought it was really, really cool looking. So yeah, kudos to them for this. Of course, you know, the artwork on these things are always pretty sick. So, you know, no exception here. Around the 56, 58 mark, they do address why they brought Magik out and let her be known early. You can hear from Danny.
Someone decided to leak it and want to tell the world about it. The don'ts of being a content creator, which is unfortunate.
That's the story. You heard it straight from Danny's mouth. If you're wondering, why did they bring it up so soon? Well, they weren't originally planning on it. Release date. That's what we all want, right? So we're going to hear again exactly what he says here.
Magik will release this year in December. It's not going to be next year. It's not going to be 2040. It's not going to be 2050. It's next month in December. She will be playable.
So there you go. So we've now got that information. He doesn't give a date specific, but you know, if I had to guess, I mean, we've got a couple weeks till December. You know, I don't think we're going to get that. We're getting Alliance Omega War. I think that's going to, the beta version, I think that's going to keep us occupied for 2 to 3 or 4 weeks maybe. So I personally would expect sometime maybe mid-December. If it's sooner than that, great. Maybe the Alliance Mega War is working better than we thought. But that gives us, you know, a few weeks of playing around with a new toy, just in time for us to go, we want something new. Give me something new. And I think that's when they'll probably throw, assuming she's all good and everything's, you know, worked out, that's when we're going to get our Magik. And then around the 59-minute mark, maybe 59:20, there's another good Q&A talking about the XP in Dark Zone. I know this is like a very big pain point for a lot of people where they don't like leveling up in Dark Zone. Danny specifically says, like, look, they know that's not an enjoyable game mode. They're looking at, there will be something in the future that will allow us to, you know, basically level up something different. I still personally believe that that was not necessarily intended to be the way that they leveled things up, but they had to do it at that part in time because whatever they were going to do just didn't make sense to release at that point. And then around the 101-minute mark, Danny talks about one of his suggestions, which I think is fantastic, is dueling. That I be able to play you, I be able to play anybody else, you be able to play your friends just because you want to. Not queue in a dimension duel and be like, all right, I'm waiting for someone, oh, there's random. You go face buddy number A, B, or C, and just be like, let's just go fight. Hey, what's up? I see you on the street. Let's duel. You know, a lot of things could do that in WoW, and I do love that they're going to do this in game, or at least that it's hopefully going to happen. There was not an official confirmation of it, but I like that it's being brought up and suggested, and that they're at least, you know, it's on the table.
The community would love to see potentially friendlier gentlemen's duels.
Here we go.
Dimensional duels. So I put that suggestion in there. I hope that the dev team is looking into that, because that can open up a world of content right there.
For sure. It's also one of my suggestions is allow players to pick a friend, go battle without consequences of dying, to test out their kits against each other, you know, change your costume, do some loadout, and just test and have fun with each other, you know. And also that will create a culture of joint streaming. Basically having 2 streamers battling each other and testing out kits, you know, play together. So,
and then pretty much the last thing that they had here was, you know, they had a little bit more Q&A, but I really wanted to get to at least the code. So there's another code. It gives you a card draw box. Magik is with you. Go ahead and put that in, get your code, get your card. Now, I, again, am pretty excited. I'll keep saying this. Like, look, the game's got issues, as do, I think, all games. I still enjoy this game. I still like playing this game. I'm looking forward to the future of this game. I think there is a ton of content. While, yes, the game is really good to people who pay for some money, if you do it, we need those people to support the game. The game can also be played free to play, and I've seen plenty of free to play or cheap to play who are actually competing with high level characters. Now, you got to remember too, the RNG in this game, while I hate it, it's also so troubling that you could throw $10,000 at this game and still not get what you want on something, because it just rolls. Now you could get really lucky, right? So it's like, it's a double-edged sword there. So, you know, you decide what you want to do. If you do like this game, and if you do want to get more people, I again encourage you to go vote for it in the best mobile game competition. So again, I appreciate you guys all stopping by. I'll continue to be doing content for Marvel Future Revolution. I enjoy it. I like it, like I said. Discord link in the description below. Hammer down like button. Tell me what you think of the game in the comments below. All the things, anything you're thinking or you want to see, content-wise, game-wise, whatever. I just love interacting with you guys, and I appreciate you. So hammer down like buttons, notification bell, subscribe. I don't know. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.